Chicago, known to be one of the premier cities when it comes to celebrating St. Patrick's Day, but this year, because of the pandemic, everyone is being encouraged to stay at home and not take part in large gatherings. The parades have already been canceled, but what are the city's plans for the weekend? We're joined by Chicago's top Dr. Allison Arwady with the Chicago Department of Public Health. Good morning to you. Nice to see you. I have to say,
you too, thank you.
You and I have been talking for about a year now. It's hard to believe tomorrow will be the one-year anniversary that WHO declared this a pandemic. We have come a long way, and I just looked at the COVID dashboard, and our numbers are currently at 2.7, which is the lowest we have seen since this pandemic started, correct?
That's right. We're at the lowest COVID numbers that we've seen since the summer and the lowest percent positivity since COVID came to Chicago.
Wow. Okay, so that brings me to this question, because with the numbers being so low, we're doing so well. Last week it was 2.9. This week we're 2.7. How concerned are you about these gatherings and celebrations for St. Patrick's Day? Because interestingly enough, Dr. Arwady, I just went online and I typed in Chicago St. Patrick's Day, and I was shocked at the list of bar crawls that are taking place this weekend.
Yeah, so, I absolutely share your concern, and we're doing a lot here at the city to step up enforcement related to all the requirements that are in place. But I would remind people, green beer does not protect you against COVID, and all of the things that we've been doing to get us this far, we can't just pretend that COVID is over. We're making great progress on case rates, we're making great progress on vaccinations, but we've got all the requirements in place that still stand. You can't have more than 50% capacity in any bar or restaurant. You can't have more than 50 people in any given space. And really, it's not the time to think that we can just go back to the way things were.
Right. Now, what if you're fully vaccinated? Because some people might say, well, I've already gotten at least one vaccine, maybe two, and we're hearing that after the first vaccine, you have as much as a 92% protection factor. So does that make a difference?
No, so let me clarify that. So really, after the first vaccine, there's been a lot of numbers. In the studies, it was about a 50% protection. We do not consider people that they should really think they're fully vaccinated until 2 weeks after the second vaccine dose, or the first if it's J&J. And in that context, the CDC released some really good guidance that if you're fully vaccinated and everybody is fully vaccinated and you're meeting, in a small gathering, like in a household, you can do that without masks. But if you are out in public, you must wear your mask, even if you're vaccinated.
Okay, and what is the city, is there anything specific you guys have planned? Because I know you're prepared after what we learned from last year. Will there be more police outside patrolling? Will there be more inspectors checking out these bars? What's the plan?
Yeah, definitely. So, one is we know people love St. Patrick's Day, and I encourage people just to think about celebrating St. Patrick's Day in a more quiet way at home, so that later in the summer we'll be in the place to actually be able to have some of these larger events. But there will definitely be much more enforcement out related to, especially in areas where we might have concerns for people just thinking that COVID is over and wanting to gather. So there are really strict requirements in place, and we will be enforcing them strongly and working to do that. But really asking people just to do the right thing. Don't pretend that you can just go back to the way things were, and hang in there just a little longer, and we'll be able to really get to a point where we can start celebrating in more public spaces in larger groups.
So we're looking at some pictures from last year, and there we see the Chicago River, we see the parades. Now we know the parades have been canceled, but we're hearing reports that there might be a quiet dyeing of the river green without spectators. Is that a plan you can give us a scoop on?
So I do not control anything related to river dyeing. What I do control is, the messaging around really encouraging people. It's not the year to go out. It's not the year to get into crowds. One of the top line messages literally since COVID began was to try to avoid large crowds. It's a situation, even if you've got a mask in, it's very hard to control. And especially if there is drinking and people's inhibitions go down, it is a setting that we're concerned about. I just want us to keep making the progress that we're making, and hopefully very soon we'll be in a place again to be able to enjoy our city in the festive ways that we really want to.
Which brings me to, I have a couple of questions for you, but which brings me to, what are you predicting for this summer? What are you predicting for Memorial Day, 4th of July? What are you seeing?
Yeah, so, so much still does depend, especially on these variants, right? Getting our numbers down as low as we can right now, not giving opportunities to spread, does not give as much opportunity for the variants to take hold here. But right now, if the trends continue the way they are, if we keep seeing very good uptake of vaccination rates, yes, we are planning for a summer that would look more like, 2 years ago than last year, certainly. You saw fans are going to be in the stands at 20% capacity on opening day for baseball. We're hoping to be able to keep expanding from there if the numbers keep looking good. We're making similar plans for summer events, not yet the big, huge gatherings without any restrictions, but we want to be open this summer and getting folks vaccinated and not pretending COVID is over now. Keeping those numbers on the downward trend is how we're going to get there.
Okay, and finally, I wanted to ask you about the United Center mass vaccination site, because once things got going yesterday, we interviewed a lot of people who said it was really easy. They were able to flow through. But now a lot of other people are wondering, when will we be able to sign up? Are you going to be opening that up again to more appointments anytime soon?
Yeah, so right now, there may be individual appointments that still pop up. Those would be on ZocDoc.com/vaccine. If people are canceling them, or frankly, if we're having to cancel people, if they've registered and they weren't actually eligible. On that site, those remain open for City of Chicago residents only right now. We're doing some outreach behind the scenes to make sure seniors who maybe missed that initial outreach week, as well as people in some of our least vaccinated zip codes, have some earlier opportunity to make appointments. But yes, we do anticipate there will be additional appointments available in the times to come. Everything's booked up for at least the first week and a half, but this is an 8-week engagement, so more to come down the line.
Yeah, and I know you're expecting a lot more vaccines to come in, and eventually that'll be open up to even more people. Well, it was such a pleasure to talk to you as always. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Have a safe and happy St. Patrick's Day. Good to see you.
Thank you so much. You too. Bye-bye.